I'm gonna do the short review of the song "We Are Called" by David Haas. I'm using the GIA publication score in Catholic community hymnal, and I've been given this just the first page of some Ottava version of it for the intro, but basically the intro is somehow written in the score. Let's start talking about the intro. The tempo of the song, as it indicates in the score. So it's a gospel style from 84 till 92. Now this I would say that would be pretty slow. I prefer to have like around 108 for the choir if I have a choir, and maybe I don't know 100 up to 112 if I have a cantor. Now, in common, I like this song. It's fun to play, and it has a logical structure. The balance between a verse and a chorus is correct in terms of number of measures. Now, I changed a few things. Now, let's start with the intro. So, basically, when I play, I don't play what's written for the piano here. Or let's say I don't play exactly as it's written, because if you would play exactly as it's written, that's gonna be boring and not interesting. Plus, most of the time I play just by myself. I don't have any other musicians most of the time. Sometimes I do have a drummer. So, but when I don't have a drummer, I have to create some sort of a rhythm. And what I do, let's say I'll play a couple of first measures. So I adding some up. So I still playing this. That's how it's written, but I add up some. So sort of like to create this the harmony movements. This to fill up this empty space that drummer would do. But since most of the time I don't have it. Now, another. Well, of course I add up some things to the left hand. Now, like something like that, or I put if I go high enough, like in this D, I can put this extra A in between. But if I go to really like to a low register, hitting this A is enough, because if you add up this E, it sounds a little muddy. What I do that is not written here at all, at the last measure, which is the ninth measure of the intro, I play this as not as a half note, but as a quarter, and I hold with the pedal, relieve the pedal on a second beat, so create a quarter rest here, and then just to give a lift for choir or the cantor, saying, here it is, you're up. So let me play last 5 measures that you can hear how it sounds. Now, in this last triplets in the 9th measure, I like that it's like a voicing. This score has a voicing, and holding that it, but I was surprised why not to do the same in the left hand, so I add this B to this movement, so that it would create more harmonics, and instead this one. So it's a full E major chord. Now, moving on, measure 10, I add up to a F sharp minor 7, E in the bass, just to to create this movement going down. So let's say so that the bass would all the time going down to the final measures of the verse. So I add up this E just to create this smooth movement to D. Then I keep playing C sharp. Now the next measure 13, it says D major over B bass, but basically it's a B minor 7th. So well, it's basically the same, almost the same, but yeah, not almost the same, exactly the same. But then after that, I don't return, as it says, to C sharp to go back to D. I keep moving, so I play just A major here with A in bass. And I can add this on the third beat, this low E, to hit that D for the last two measures, plus D with the ottava down. And basically stay in this lower position for the left hand. Now, measure 17, for some reason, the word we, that's the beginning of the chorus. There's no chord. If let's say I'm playing what's written here, and bass player doesn't know what I'm playing, so he would keep playing E, that would create this. So basically the chord on the second beat is B minor 9th. That's what it is. Now then the chord on the third beat is A, yes, as it says, A major with C sharp, but it doesn't say about this B, and that B is in a melody, so I put A with a 9th. So now, speaking of this, again, this measure 17 and these two chords, to show the beginning of the chorus, I sort of convert this, the chord, that B minor 9th, and the next one from quarter to 8 notes. So let's say they 8 notes with 8 rests, and I do it marcata, just to show that here it is, the beginning of the refrain. Now there's further, there are two similar places. I avoid doing that because that would be too much, that would be annoying to do that all the time. So just one time for the beginning of the chorus, this is how it sounds. Now again, measure 21, similar to measure 17, missing B minor 9th chord in a chord chart notation. Now again, further measure 25, I add up again just to avoid staying this F sharp minor chord too long, I add the E bass, so F sharp minor over E bass. It's sort of like this, you know, in this register you can play it this way. So that, and it brings up some interesting colors. Now, speaking of the last 4/6 measures of the refrain, I sort of light up the dynamics and the arrangement here before I get to these 5 measures of the interlude, let's call it instrumental interlude, to the next verse on War God. I light up a little, light up the arrangement, so I don't keep this, I don't play in this lower register, so I bring my left hand right here. And by the way, one of the cantors heard it and pick it up and start sort of like playing along with it. What she did, she, well, instead of just holding this A for 4 measures with the same volume, she sort of made she made sort of like diminuendo here, and well, not that long, just like say for half of this measure and half of that, and then bring it back to make this crescendo back to this A. So that creates some interesting sound. So it sounds approximately like this. When I play with her, she's sort of like figure out that I do that, and that was kind of interesting for her. So she started playing along. So let me play that place for you, that you can hear this connection between refrain to the next verse. And again, similar, last measure of the interlude, similar to the last measure of the intro. So I play this chord, the E major chord, as a quarter, and then do the quarter rest, and sort of like to show the same, okay, here it is, you start singing the second verse. So I guess that's all for now about this song. So check out my website for some downloads. I'm gonna have my version of the piano arrangement, piano part, available for downloads. Maybe I'll place the link on this video later on. Keep checking my download page on my website. Well, thanks for watching.